Hello and welcome to the Relocation Specialist training video. In this video we're going to look at AutoPilot and using AutoPilot to send forms, attachments, and customized letters. We're going to take them one at a time. So the first one is how to use AutoPilot to send forms. Now you should know that whenever we're talking about AutoPilot, what we really are referring to are to-do items where the activity equals AutoPilot. So when you hear the term AutoPilot, think of a to-do item or a task where the activity is AutoPilot. Now in this case, we're going to set up an AutoPilot item that will send an update request to the agent, and we want that to repeat every 14 days. So the form we want to send is the auto update form. We want to begin today and repeat it every 14 days. So we've selected AutoPilot. We'll select the date. Let's start it today. We can put a brief description in here. This is just for our own use. We'll say repeat. Yes, we want it to repeat. We want it to repeat every 14 days. And is a response required? Yes, we do want a response from the agent. When we say yes to this field, what we're saying is that we want the system to keep track of whether or not the agent has responded. And what happens is when the AutoPilot sends this email to the agent, it does create a new to-do item marked response for the activity. And that's how it keeps track. A specific response is used if you want a response to one particular email, such as an assignment, for example, rather than just, hey, give me a response to my multiple update requests. So we might send 2 or 3 out before the agent responds. When the agent does respond, it marks all of those response required, marks them all true, and takes them out of the tickler. So in most cases, you're going to use is response required yes and not the specific response. Okay, next is who are we going to send it to. In this case, we're going to send it to the assigned agent. And if we click the button, it looks up the assigned agent's email address and inserts it into the record. Same thing for the CC and BCC field if we want to send those. And in the email from field, this is used only if we want it to appear as though the email is coming from somebody else, somebody other than ourselves. So if we wanted it to look like it's coming from the agent, for example, we could put the agent's email address in there. Typically, this is left blank. Okay, email subject. Let's just say something like update request for, and then combine that with the email subject variable of the client name, so that now the subject line of the email will say update request for, and then it will give the client's name. The form that we want to send in this case is the auto update form, and we'll click add new record, and it's now all set up, ready to go. We have a record entered today. Notice that it does repeat, and we know who it's going to. Now, you would go throughout the day setting up all of these to-do items. And once they are all created, at least once a day, you're going to click AutoPilot. And that shows you a list of all of the items that are due to go out as of today or before. And you just come to the bottom of the page and click the button to send them all, or else you could send them individually by clicking the process button. Okay, so that's how to send an AutoPilot form. Next, let's talk about attachments. Now, in order to know about attachments or to have them included, we have to upload them. So to do that, we go to the utility settings page, click upload an email attachment. We can browse on our local PC, find the file we want to upload, and then just upload it to the database. you can see that there's a folder that's kept, and in the folder are all of the various pages that have been uploaded and may be used as attachments. So now that the attachment is there, let's go back to that to-do item, and let's just say that in that update request that we're sending to the agent, we want to include an attachment. So we click to-do. We click the pencil to edit the one that we just created, and we click to view the email attachments. So I can select that I want the one that I want, drag it into the attachments field, and then close that. If I want to send multiple attachments, I can do that in one email. So including attachments is something that's very easy to do. We'll just click Update Current Record, and it's now ready to go. Now the last area that we're looking at today are custom letters. Now with a custom letter, what you're doing is sending a customized letter that you have created. And in order to do that, we combine a blank form with whatever you're putting into what we call the body of the letter. So if we click Forms, you'll see that we have a link here, look up the body of letter. Now, if we were to do this manually, we would select the body of letter that we want to use, go back to the Forms list, and select the form we want to use. In this case, it's custom letter blank. Okay. Now, if I use custom letter blank, you'll see that right now there's nothing up here in the body of the email. But if I go back, select the body of letter, let's say it's Abby's thank you, you can see that here's what's been created. Then I can combine that with custom letter blank, and now here's what the body of the email looks like. So basically we are inserting predetermined body of letter or paragraphs or instructions, whatever it may be, into a blank form or a blank email. Now, these can be as simple as this thank you letter or as complex as, for example, a newsletter. Now, in this case, this combines all sorts of graphics, different fonts, pictures, what have you, as well as the agent's information at the bottom. And this is actually created using either Word or other PowerPoint or any variety of software products that are out there. But what you'll do is create it and then save it as an HTML. And what that does is it puts it all into certain code that looks something like this. Okay? And you copy that code and simply paste it into this large text area. And once it's there, it's ready to go. So if we were to combine this newsletter with custom letter blank, when the client opens the newsletter, in this case, this is what's in the body of the newsletter, just what we've created. So you can create as many bodies of letter as you like, and then in using the body of letter with the form custom letter blank, we can tell AutoPilot to send it out when we want it to go. So for example, if I come down here to custom letter blank, and I say the body of letter I want to use is the sample newsletter, and update this, now that newsletter is going to be sent out every 14 days in this case. So we might want to change that. If we're sending it to a client, we may want to send it only once, but you see that we can combine a variety of bodies of letter with custom forms. Now, there are many forms that use the body of letter. For example, let's say that there's an agent assignment needed. We need special instructions that goes out every time that we send the form auto assignment, for example. And you can see that here's the normal form, but then it also includes those special instructions. So there's a variety of ways that you can use that. Well, I hope that you found this to be helpful. If you have any further questions, you can always use the Help menu to submit a request, and we'll be happy to help you out.